welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. I would like to present my guest of the evening. She's a multi-talented talent. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to Lexye. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. First of all, thank you for joining me this evening.
Thanks for having me.
So for my viewers and listeners, I'm on Instagram, right? So I just, I'm always looking for people. I'm always looking through, and I saw one of these amazing art. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was dope. It was dope. It was like an angel, right? Like
Very sweet.
Yeah,
The Archangel.
the Archangel, yes.
Yeah.
And I found it so fascinating. Like, it's dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
When did you start? What inspired you? How did you find this massive talent you have?
I've really been painting and drawing since I can remember, like since I was a kid.
Wow.
And then all through high school, I took all kinds of art classes and, loved all of them, everything from ceramics. I took a lot of theater classes, but I never actually did theater. I just painted the sets.
Yeah.
So I would take like theater classes, but then just like paint the sets kind of like in the background. But then, and then I decided, to go to college for it. And I ended up going to UT, and I got into more digital art at UT. So I was doing more, traditional kind of arts. And then at UT, I did more, digital graphics like Photoshop, drawing my iPad, all the Adobe programs, stuff like that. And then really after I graduated, I wanted to start getting into painting more again because I missed it. And so I started doing anime paintings.
Nice. Yeah, super dope. Yes.
And I found these really cool blacklight paints, like blacklight acrylic paints.
Yeah.
From Stuart Simple. They have like a bunch of really cool paints. And I started using those and just, loved the results I was getting. And then the Archangel Michael piece actually was a commission piece.
Okay.
And someone hit me up for it on my website, and they basically said they just wanted Archangel Michael, and I had complete creative freedom, which was exciting, but intimidating too, because I was kind of nervous to be creating like my own character from scratch. I just kind of dove into it, and that one I just finished that one recently actually, and it took me almost 90 hours to finish it.
Wow.
It was a big piece, and it was probably the most technical like painting I've completed.
Detail oriented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's funny too, actually. So I got like hit up for it on my email, or not my email, like through my website.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to like deliver the painting, because normally I would ship it, because I've had people order from, other places in the US, and then I ship it. But they said that they lived, whenever they sent me the address, I realized they live like kind of close to me.
Yeah.
So it was like, it would be better, if we just met and you could pick it up, then we don't have to worry about shipping it.
Yeah.
So they were down, and then I went, and it ended up being one of my friends that had ordered it like all along. And they used like a fake name and fake email, I guess they had. But they like showed up and like surprised me, and I thought it was so funny.
I support you.
It was real cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really sweet.
Did you like did you have any type of object or thing that you use as inspiration to draw them out?
Oh, for sure. First of all, I like always look up reference images. So Archangel Michael, I started studying different images and paintings of him. And then I have like these dolls. They're called like body coons dolls.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, they come with different hands and different feet, and you can manipulate them in different ways.
Yeah.
And all of their joints articulate.
Yeah, I have one here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They're pretty standard for like artists, especially artists that like are drawing people and stuff. They're great, but I used one of those.
Yeah, I used to draw when I was a kid, and just recently I just out of nowhere I just bought a one of those books that you draw on, and like an art kit of pencils, and try to dive into it. You know, it's very, for me it was like very stress relieving after so many years doing
Hmm.
it. I mean, I suck right now. But yeah. Continue, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, it's like it's all practice. Like it's
Yeah.
all just putting in the hours. It's a
Yeah,
grind,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But but I love it.
Do you like, because I remember when I first, like when I was a child, like I would like mimic I was never good at like drawing everything from scratch. You know, that's something you learn by the course, the circle and all that. Like I've always like, when I was a kid, right? I like mimic what I'm looking at and then just draw it out. That's how I
Hmm.
first encountered me drawing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how I think most people start. Um, I think most people are kind of like in that same boat where like they're some people are like really good at that, like they can copy things really well,
Yeah.
you know, but can't really draw from scratch. But it's more like after you draw enough things over and over again, you can kind of start drawing them from scratch. And
Yeah,
I think a
yeah.
lot of artists too, like I see artists all the time, like that's pretty much my whole feed on Instagram. And they'll pull in a
Nice.
reference picture, you know, of something, and then they'll like I saw one the other day of this like megalodon shark tooth,
Hmm.
and they pretty much drew the picture, like they edited it a little bit. It was a tattoo artist, and then they drew other stuff around it. So they drew like a hook on it with like some rope going around it. So they still
Nice.
kind of do. You kind of like find a balance in between where you're still like using reference, and then you kind of like edit it and make it
Yeah,
into
yeah.
your own piece.
Yeah, that's something that somebody told me recently too. Like you, like, don't try to mimic what you're doing. Just try to make it yours, right? And put
Hmm.
your like I'm a big fan of Daredevil. So I drew Daredevil trying to with a gi on, right?
Nice.
And I think it was like an arm bar. I can't really remember the move. Like an arm bar on somebody. But
Hmm.
for like, I think it was good for the first time not being able to draw in years, right? But
Uh-huh.
once that person gave me that advice, I just like started like, I don't know, being creative, something I didn't never knew I had.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And then you just keep doing that and keep
Yeah.
like growing that muscle in your brain, you know? And then the
What's
more creative things you do, like the more you'll kind of add to your repertoire.
nice, nice. What's like, you mentioned you went to school for like digital art. Like, what's the difference between digital art and like just, pen and paper? I mean, pencil and paper.
Um, I mean, there can be a lot of differences. It kind of depends on like what you're doing. So I like to draw and Procreate a lot on my iPad
Mhm.
Pro,
Got it, got it.
and that is similar in the fact that you're actually using a stylus
Mhm.
and a drawing tablet. Um, but the way you set up your compositions is a lot different, and I think it can be a lot easier in ways because of the ability to use layers mainly
Mm.
and
Yeah,
use
yeah.
different brush presets. You know, and because you can like draw something and then transform it on like the paper or on the iPad itself, you know, you can move it around.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if you're drawing on paper, doing a painting, you can't do that. You're like really stuck with what you
Yeah,
have.
yes, yes.
And there's no undo that too. That's that's a big thing. I
Yes,
find
yes.
myself all the time switching, like if I go from my iPad, so if you're on Procreate, you do like a double finger tap to undo,
Mhm.
and I'll be like working on that, and then I'll like move to like paper or a painting, and I'll like, you know, out of habit do like try to do like the two finger tap, and it doesn't work like that.
Man, I tried. I bought this pen, like a stylus, but it's a pen, right? Like form of a pencil. And I
Hmm.
try to like draw something on my tablet, but it's like, I don't know, like the feeling of it is not the same. And
Mm-mm.
it's like when I draw a line here, it comes out up here. So I'm still
Mhm.
trying to grasp that and understand how it works. But
Yeah.
I stick to my little notebook. It's all right.
Yeah, it can, because too, like, I feel like the screen is so smooth as opposed to, like, the paper texture or
Yeah.
canvas texture, so it can be a lot more difficult to get, like, straight lines,
Yeah, yeah.
'cause it's, like, slipping, but a lot of that's just practice and muscle memory. Like, a lot of artists recommend that you just, like, practice doing
Yeah.
strokes over and over again.
Yeah.
um
What's the biggest piece you ever like sold or you just drew out of wanting to like
I think the Vegeta one was the biggest one.
the Vegeta
That one
one?
or this last one that I did, which was the Archangel
Yeah.
Michael, but, I think the Vegeta one was actually bigger. That one was pretty big, um, and that one was cool. I was really excited for that one that someone asked me because I was a commission piece to do Vegeta because I love
Yeah.
Vegeta.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Um,
dope.
yeah, no, I love Vegeta. Dragon Ball Z, like, I've watched all of it,
Yeah.
multiple times. It's one of my favorites, one of my all-time favorites for sure. And Vegeta is one of my favorite characters. Like, he's
Yeah.
great. He's
I think
hilarious.
like for me, I think as I gotten older, I realized I'm more of a like I always like Goku, but like
Mhm.
I think as I've gotten older, I'm more like Vegeta than Goku.
Yeah, you kind of
But
grow an appreciation for
yeah,
his
yeah.
humor.
Like
Yeah.
there's this clip I shared. I every time I see I share it when like I think Trunks says something about like he's God and he's like, but I'm still here.
Mhm.
And his son is like, you're really not thinking you're a god. And he's like, I am that hype, something like that. But it was funny.
Hell yeah.
So do
Yeah, no.
you enjoy drawing anime as well?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, especially, like, I love doing the paintings, like the black light paintings
Yeah.
specifically, because I think they look nuts under the black light. And it's cool because you can do, like, energy, like, going around them. Like, that one had,
Yeah.
like, electricity and, like, fire and crazy stuff happening in the background, and as soon as you put the black light on it, it's just, like,
Boom.
pops.
Yeah.
Um, which is cool. I've done Vegeta, I did, like, some miniature paintings of Piccolo, uh, and, like, I drew him with, like, different skins, like, with different colors, and, like, I put, like,
Nice.
tattoos on his face and stuff. And then I did, like, a little Goku one whenever he was a kid, and then I did a Midoriya one for one of my friends, actually, and then, I also did a Sasuke piece.
A
It was, like,
Sasuke?
smaller, but it was cool. Mhm.
Nice, nice. Have you done any Naruto?
That was the only one. The Sasuke piece has been the only one, but I've been thinking about doing Kakashi soon, either
Oh,
Kakashi or
Kakashi.
Itachi.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love Kakashi, man.
I know Kakashi's awesome. I just think both of their characters have a lot of potential too because, like, first of all, they both look sick, you know?
Yeah.
But Kakashi has that white hair, which you could do a lot of
Yes.
stuff with,
Yes.
and he
Yes.
does, like, the electricity, so, like, anything with electricity in a painting can look really cool.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and then Itachi has, like, the ravens, so I feel like
Mm-hmm.
doing something cool with the ravens in the background could be sick.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope.
yeah,
I could see it like picture in my head.
yeah, I think it would be sick. I've just been recently, like, I've been trying to practice a lot, like, I've been spending a lot of time, like, I took these 2 classes recently, or I'm in the process of taking them. One's a figure drawing class, and one's a head drawing class because I wanna get a lot better at them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, drawing, like, my own versions of the characters as opposing to, like,
Yeah.
relying so much on reference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because really, like, all of, like, like, the really talented anime, like, fan art, artists that I follow, they draw, like, their own characters from scratch, and they look incredible. Um, but, yeah, the classes are great. They're just, very time consuming.
No, I can imagine. I
They're
can
very
imagine.
methodical, but it's good. It's been helping a lot. So I'm excited to see, like, what I can come up with afterwards.
I'm excited to see, especially
Thank you.
that Kakashi one. Is dope.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yes.
I just finished watching the episodes with I think when they defeated Pain,
Nice.
and they revived Kakashi. Spoilers. And then that whole ordeal with his dad and whatnot, that was very special.
Hmm.
So I'm real high on him right now.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, have you seen it all the way through?
Not yet. It's hard because it's also very time consuming, right? And then they have like
It's
the
true.
the fillers, the episodes filler, because after that now
Yeah.
they're like in back and forth when he was a kid.
Hmm.
So it's like it's very time consuming, those episodes. I tend to just like fast forward them, like read through the
Yeah.
subtitles and fast forward them till I get to something good. But not
Yeah. I
yet, not
mean,
yet.
there's like 800 episodes if you count
Left.
like Naruto too, or like there's like 500 in Shippuden and 300 in Naruto, I think. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's definitely a huge time commitment.
Yes,
But
yes.
there's one fight in specific, I don't want to ruin it for you, but like it's with Kakashi, and it's like one of my favorite anime fights ever,
Wow.
period. Like when I show people like anime or try to get them into it, like I'll pull up that fight and show it to
Yeah.
them. Yeah,
Ah, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna have
it's
to
sick.
I'm gonna have to fast forward.
It's so sick.
I think my one of my favorite characters, like it's the Nine Tails. Like
Yeah,
that's my like they don't show him that much, but that's just like my favorite one. From
he is
everything in the
sick.
whole show, that's right. That's my it right there.
Yeah, I should do a big painting of him. He would be dope to do a
Yeah.
painting of. Especially
Yeah.
because he's all orange, like he would look crazy under a black light.
Yeah. Yeah. I love when they like I've seen it like throughout the show when he's like in that black and white intensity. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
gray. I love that those cuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
That's
the
dope.
nine tails is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting a
Mhm.
tattoo because it's just I don't know, it's something I can relate, that energy, right? Because that's the same energy that Vegeta has.
Yeah.
So I just it took me a whole lifetime to watch this show.
Nice. Well, at least you're watching it now.
Yeah, 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 definitely. Have you ever just because you're a fan of like anime and all these awesome stuff, have you ever thought about like drawing a comic book on your own?
I mean, I haven't like seriously thought about it. I've like kind of seen like I follow artists that do it,
Yeah.
Um, and there's artists that I follow too that, got pretty good at drawing characters and then kind of use it as practice for
Hmm.
getting, even better by drawing their own manga. Um, but I don't know. Maybe sometime in the future. I just feel like I don't know if I would feel confident enough trying to draw my own one right now,
Yeah. I
like
mean,
my own characters and stuff.
it's dope though. I mean, you definitely got the talent, right? Just
I know. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know. I just need to like dive in. Maybe I'll start thinking about it. Start thinking about characters. I feel like I get really obsessed with like, practicing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it. No, I get it. To perfect your craft,
Yeah.
right? So like talk to me like about like your mental process. Like once you get an idea in your head, like until you do it, you don't stop. Like how is that?
Yeah, I normally do it on my iPad first.
Mhm.
Like even for the paintings, I do a digital draft first. And well, first you start with just reference, like looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Um, and then, I just kind of draw it out, sketch it out, and then, flesh it out on my iPad, like pick out my colors and everything. Um, and then whenever I'm ready to start painting, I actually I have a mini projector that I
Hmm.
use to project it onto the canvas. I can
Oh,
make
that's
sure it's
dope.
perfect.
That's
Because I
smart
honestly
too.
like I could draw it. Like I'm pretty good at drawing things
Hmm.
pretty exactly from reference, but it would take
Yeah,
way too long. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
unnecessary. So I
Especially if
use
you
this
got like a
little,
commission, right? It's a commission drawing.
yeah, exactly. Because then it's hourly, so like I'm not gonna, I'm not trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
waste any time. So I project it onto the canvas and then get it all perfect. And then I kind of start with the outline first. And then some of them, you paint kind of like a base color on. So it's not just a white canvas. And then you go from there, start adding all the
Boom.
color. Blacklight paint is actually really finicky to work with though. And
Yeah.
that's part of the reason it takes me so long to make them, because it is extremely transparent.
Oh,
Um, so it does not go on opaque at all.
wow.
And so I end up having to mix it with other paints that are opaque. But I can't mix it too much because then it loses like the black light effect.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but then that kind of I think looks cool in paintings because some of the areas are less blacklight reflective than others. And I started doing that on purpose with it because, I want some things to pop more than others, like the energy and stuff, like swirling
Yeah,
around,
yeah.
like that should be real vibrant. Like,
Yes.
or like on the Archangel Michael painting, I made his wings super vibrant because I just, thought that would look cool. But yeah, so like each like area I end up having to paint like 4 or 5 times to
Wow.
get like the
It's
full
yeah, yeah.
opacity on it.
It's
Yeah,
work.
because of
It's
that paint.
work.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a
that's a
lot, but
lot.
I just feel like the results are so worth it because it just looks so crazy.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, because I remember scrolling through your feed, like I think I saw the Vegeta one, and the
Mm-hmm.
energy is what you're saying. It pops out like it comes at you,
Mm-hmm.
especially it has those special lights.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's dope.
exactly.
That is
Yeah.
super dope.
So if I want to like an area to like really pop, I just take, after I've painted it, with like the mixed paints, I take like the black light paint by itself and put like several layers of that on it.
Wow,
And then that like really
wow.
translates whenever you put the black light on it.
So this is something like it's as you're joining your like your juice, your flow is just coming to you, and you're like looking at it and studying it. This like
Mm-hmm.
it's some masterpiece and making.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah, I'm just
dope.
kind of thinking about it under regular light and under black light, and I'll turn the black light on sometimes and kind of see where I'm at with the different colors, if some need to be a little bit more vibrant. Um, and then yeah, at the very end, I really like pick what areas I really want to pop. And I actually got some glow in the dark paint too.
Hmm.
So I've done some paintings that like parts of it actually glow in the dark, as
Wow.
well as being blacklight reflective. So
Yeah.
like that Midoriya painting I did with the lightning, which is I think what I would do with the Kakashi one too, because I thought that was real cool. I actually mixed it. So I did blacklight paint with glow. It's like a pigment. It comes in a powder. So with glow pigment. And
Yeah.
then I also use like an acrylic medium that uh it like goes on real thick. I forget what it's called. So it's like it sticks off the painting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like um so I mixed those all together and I did that on the lightning. So
Wow.
it like, comes off like there's texture to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you load it up with the black light. So black light will load up glow in the dark paint like a lot.
Wow.
It makes it like
Yeah.
glow like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you load it up with that and you turn the lights off and like all of the electricity just like stays glowing in the dark.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
that would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be
I think
dope.
that'd
That would
be
be
really sick.
awesome.
And
Shit.
I would probably do is like Sharingan, like, glow in the dark
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
like that pops too. I think that would be sick.
It sounds sick. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm about to make a deposit on that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so down.
Um,
Yeah, I would love that.
have you ever drawn on black paper?
No, not I don't think so. I have gray paper that I
Mm.
draw on a lot. Um, but not really black.
Yeah, because I don't know, like the Batman animated series, like
Okay.
that whole show was like drawn on black paper, and like that's I think the visualization of the show was so successful is because like they were able to take like everything's normal on white. So they able to change it and drew everything on black with the colors, and it became I'm a Batman fan, so like for me it was
I
dope.
need to check that out. That sounds cool.
Yeah, everything was drawn on black paper. So
It's
it's
like
like,
that honestly makes sense
yeah,
because it's the Dark Knight. Like
yeah,
everything's supposed to be
yes,
darker,
yes,
so it
yes,
gives it its whole own special feel being drawn on the black paper. It
yes,
matches.
yes. That's I think, yeah, something I read. That's one of the reasons the show was so successful, because it was different at that time,
Yeah.
especially for an animated series for for children.
Okay. Oh, so you're talking about like the older one?
Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah,
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like when he's like they drew him like very squarish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's cool.
yeah,
I didn't realize I haven't seen it in forever, but I didn't
yeah.
realize it
Well,
was
it's
drawn
old.
by
It's
people like
old.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
that was dope.
that would be cool to experiment with. I really like the using the gray paper too, because that one you can kind of go both ways, like you can
Yeah,
use the regular pencils and darker pencils and blacks, and then you can also bring in, whites and
yeah,
the lighter colors.
yeah.
Whenever I draw on my iPad, I normally draw on a gray background
Really,
a
that's
lot of the
dope.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, the color of the paper helps, like it complements the colors and the drawing. Sometimes it just gives them that pop.
Hmm.
So that's super dope.
Definitely.
Um.
This one too is actually on so this is a gray shirt, but I painted this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is actually my favorite character, Mob Psycho. I don't know if you've heard of
No,
Mob Psycho
Mom Psycho.
100. So it's like a little like less well known for animes,
Okay.
but it's like it's my favorite anime like of all time, and I've watched, a lot of them, most of the main ones, like I've seen pretty much all of them. But Mob Psycho 100. So have you seen One Punch Man?
Yes.
Or you've heard of it? Okay, so Mob Psycho 100 is written by the same person. The
Got it.
same
Got it.
manga writer wrote uh, Mob Psycho 100 and One Punch Man,
Yeah.
and it's just like everything about that show is a masterpiece. Like the art in it is incredible. The characters are incredible. The fight scenes are nuts. Like the character development, everything about it.
That's dope. I
But
gotta
yeah,
check it out.
definitely,
I
it's
gotta
so
check it
worth
out.
it.
One of the things like I like about anime is the story, right? It's the
Yeah.
story arc on. Sometimes it may drag, but it's like it helps the character develop.
Hmm.
Like in regular, like I want to say like an American. I don't even say like America doesn't even have cartoons like anymore, right?
Mm-mm. Not like that.
Like
No,
Family
and I get
Guy,
what you're
and I
saying.
don't, and
Yeah,
that's not
like
even.
adult cartoons.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I just realized that. But like I like the character development. Has like more values. Like that's why I think it's so popular.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because you're kind of like growing along with them,
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, yeah, like you said, like I don't think there's any kind of shows that can even match the quality and amount of character development that, some of the animes get.
yeah.
I
I
think part of that too
agree.
is obviously like they get like hundreds of episodes in.
Yes,
But the
yes,
fact that they can even create a storyline that exists for hundreds of episodes and have these characters that grow that whole time is incredible to me.
yeah. Because usually it's like they have like your first episode is like trying to give you the plot of the whole storyline. Then the
Mhm.
next 2 to 3 episodes is just like a drag. Then that fourth episode is where like it connects to the storyline, and then they do the same thing.
Mhm. Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And I think like have you seen any One Punch Man? Or not One Punch Man, sorry. One Piece.
No, I've been,
Okay.
everybody's told me to watch it. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, that one's like 1,000 episodes. So I mean,
Wow.
I'm like 300 episodes in, and I still feel like I'm never gonna get get through all of it.
Wow, that's a lot in a
Um,
short amount of time. That's a
it
lot.
really is. And what's crazy too is like, I mean, I'm like, pretty deep into the show and you don't even like know much of Luffy, the main character's like story until like way later. Like I still don't even like understand. Like you see him growing up kind of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but they still haven't even really dove into like him and
Yeah, it's like which is Sasuke. So Sasuke is like it's in there. Then like at a moment he disappears for like a whole season or 2 seasons.
yeah,
Then they bring him back. Then later on they tell his story. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah, then it would make those stories last for a long time.
What was the anime the reason that inspired you to do jiu-jitsu? I just found out you did jiu-jitsu today. Oh, you did it.
No, so I mean, I've just been watching anime since I was like a kid
Since
anyways.
forever at this point.
I was just kind of like a loner. I did homework and art and
Yeah.
anime and that was it. I got into jujitsu because I was into the UFC, like watching the UFC.
Nice.
And then I was at UT in Austin, and my friend was like, like there's a 10th planet in Austin that's,
Really?
real cool,
Wow.
and I was like, yeah, like that sounds awesome, but I was like kind of intimidated to start, doing something like that. And then I was actually at the gym at UT and I was wearing a UFC shirt. And one of the girls that trained at 10th Planet Austin saw me and was like, you should come train sometime.
Yeah.
And like we exchanged numbers and stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I would love to. I've like heard about the gym, I've thought about it. And so like that's really what got me started. And then I went in and I loved it. I was like pretty hardcore about it for a few years.
How
I
far did you
really just
go?
only stopped whenever I moved back to Dallas,
Got it.
the Dallas area. Yeah.
Wow.
I got my blue belt. So
Yeah.
I trained
Wow.
for like 2 years and then yeah, I got my blue belt and then yeah.
It stopped.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's how
Something
it
I know a lot of people do. So I definitely
yeah,
fit into
yeah.
that stereotype.
Yeah. I got my blue belt June 30th. That just passed. I
Okay,
got it.
nice.
And
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you. The 26th of June, I entered a competition for the first time.
Nice.
And I got second place. I hurt my knee.
Oh,
So I haven't been able to enjoy my blue belt like a row
mm,
for like I think what today's the 26th in a month now. Yeah. So I'm kind of feeling frustrated a little bit, but it's
I
addicting
bet.
though. It's addicting.
Yeah, it is. How'd you hurt your knee?
So I was on I got him he grabbed my lapel and he was trying to pull me into close guard,
Mhm.
and that like throughout the year like I've gone to competition and I feel like that's very predictable. That's what everybody does.
Mhm.
So uh I've been training and like all right, so if he tries to pull me into his guard, I want to get him and I think half guard. So
Okay.
I executed my plan. I got him to half guard, and if you're on the bottom, like you can find a way and extend one of my legs
Mhm.
from the bottom. So that's exactly what he did. He extended and like like it was like very quick. So
Yeah.
I heard like a pop, boom, pop,
Mhm.
and I quickly yelled like I was like fuck.
Mhm.
Um, and they broke us up, and I thought I won the match because when you're a white belt, they can't do anything to your legs.
Yeah.
So
Not supposed to.
I'm thinking like, oh, this is over. But then I hear his I guess his trainer's like, no, he yelled that he's disqualified. And I'm like, what? So I was like, no, no, I'm not. Let's just keep going. So I continued the match. And we started off a half guard again, and he kept attacking my leg. And I was just, I was in pain, but I was still trying to go with my game plan. It was to get him in the is it over under on the
Mm-hmm.
over under pass and try to get his side control, which I think I'm fairly good at. So he was already exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I could have just maintained, get them out or get him in some type of submission. I knew I would have gone in it. But he kept attacking, and I'm looking at the clock. My coach is yelling, get up, and I'm like, I can't stand up because in order for me to do the under pass, like I have to extend my legs in the back and slowly walk and jump over. And by the time I try to do that, my leg popped like fourth time,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw the clock was like 40 minutes left, and you know, like he pushed it my leg again, and like I lost feeling in my knee. So he just basically flipped me over and got them out. And it ended like that.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. I mean, I
You at
have no
least stick it out though.
I have no regrets. I have no regrets. My like a lot of like throughout this journey I've taken doing this, like I've seen a lot of people they want to win and they're already picturing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wanted to keep it simple. I wanted to show up. I wanted to give at least 5% more than I already do, like when I go in class. And I wanted to do it, despite of the outcome. I wanted to give my best.
That's awesome.
Um, but I was very pissed. I was very pissed because you're like it took me a year and 6 months almost to get my blue belt. And they're constantly educating we can't do nothing with the legs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking this is the professional environment and the first thing they've told me throughout this journey, don't attack the legs. I got attacked to my legs.
It's interesting you didn't get disqualified for it.
Yeah. And then when I asked about the leg, like, no, that it's technically not a leg lock, that's just an uncomfortable position. And I'm like, if you put pressure and you have the capability of breaking it, that's a leg lock to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then what got even more frustrating, like I got second place, and I would think that they would have my back and say, hey, like keep tabs on the event. I end
Mm-hmm.
up like I get home around 8 and I'm like looking through the charts and like, yo, I got second place. So I had to like reach out to the organization and like, yo, can you send me my medal?
They didn't even give you your medal.
They didn't even give me my medal. Like it's
That's
second
lame.
place, but like, damn, that's an experience. Like I ain't got no shame in
Yeah.
my game.
No, you deserve that medal.
So that's my journey so far. I'm very frustrated. Not frustrated,
Yeah.
but like I'm more disappointed I put blame on myself, but
Mhm.
the true reality is like, you prepare for these events and there's supposed to be people that have your back
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be on top of it because at the end you're representing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, they were more focused about who did get first place uh, on them. And yeah, it got me pissed off, but I moved on.
I bet that sounds frustrating.
You live and you learn.
Yeah. I mean, the last competition I did, I was hurt. I had my ankle hurt in a straight ankle lock,
Yeah.
and it popped a bunch of times,
Wow.
and was messed up for like a while, because the tendons take forever.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of part of what like turned me off a little bit, was just injuring myself like that, and then I couldn't, because I'm normally like really active, like I do
Yeah.
a lot of yoga and strength and conditioning and different stuff.
Hunting. I've seen it. You do it all.
Yeah, and I couldn't do anything really, like I
Yeah.
couldn't do, or at least for a while, and then I had to wear a brace, and it was really annoying. And I was like, and two, like stuff like that, um, some of that kind of stuff never really like heals fully, you kind of
Yeah.
like feel
Yeah.
that for forever. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to like put myself in a position to get hurt like that again.
Yeah. I
And I can
mean,
get kind of competitive in a moment, like you really don't want to stop.
yeah.
And that's kind of whenever it starts to get real dangerous.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, this transition of being injured, like it's a drag.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll tell you, yeah, just come, you know, even though you're hurt, just show up and watch the class. And if I sit there and watch, I learn a lot, but like it's like they tell you to go, but it's almost like they're looking at you like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Which like without like they're not saying that, right? But like just the looks and the energy, and it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, it makes me want to take a chair and just starts, you know, going wrestling style on them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I've reached, and then there's I feel like there's no actual camaraderie, right? There's no brother or sister, right? Because there's been plenty of times I've known people that gotten hurt, and I'll go reach out on my way, hey, how you doing? Keep tabs on them, make sure
Yeah.
they're okay, because they don't have that support,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
how it should
And
be.
yeah, and I mean, I can only speak on my experience. I can't speak on others. I can't speak on what other people have gone through. But like this I'm not gonna mention his name, but there's this real cool guy that he also had a very bad knee injury. And when I spoke to him, like, has anybody checked up on you? Like, no, nobody like left me for forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that he, your agreement ends and you just left. And he was like,
Yeah.
no, I've been hurt.
Yeah.
So for all you jiu-jitsu owners, you always want to keep in touch of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my experience.
No, I mean, I can see that. I luckily like had a lot of like got really close with a lot of people at my gym. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I still had a lot of um support from different people, or especially like from the people I really cared about,
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
support from. But I can definitely see that, especially just because it's like so competitive and it can be a very self-centered sport, at the
Hmm.
end of the day. Um and yeah, that's also one of the things I just like. I love it. I love that I know or I feel pretty confident in, defending myself. I think that's really important, especially for anyone,
Yeah.
but especially for a woman,
Yeah.
to know how to do jujitsu and defend herself in, a bad situation. I think that's great. I think that's super valuable. But there was a lot of, I don't know, really intense ego stuff at um the gym and just involved with jujitsu in general that I got real tired of.
No, hey, hey, and that's not just a woman thing. That's not just a woman thing.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's all ego. It's all
Yeah.
ego. Like when I first, the reason I joined jujitsu was I feel like I was struggling emotionally,
Mhm.
and I wanted to help my mental health. That's why I joined it. So
That's awesome.
like thank you. When I first started meeting people, and I already developed some time there. Everybody was like, they wanted to do competition, they wanted to do this, and wanted like I'm trying to fix me. I'm trying to help me.
Mhm.
Right. That's why I wanted to do it. And then like you find people that are like pressuring you to do compete, right? But then
Yeah.
they compete and they're not giving it all their all.
Mhm.
They're not. And when I got her, I got a lot of backlash. Like, why would you do that? I'm like, then why you do this? If you're
Yeah.
not gonna give it all 100%, then why are you doing this?
Yeah.
You're like jujitsu is really expensive, right?
Mm.
These tournaments are really expensive.
Mhm.
So like if you're training and you're going through these, you know, ordeal of eating clean and maintaining your body, like you got to give that shit your all.
Mm-hmm.
If then why do it?
Yeah, for sure.
So I felt ready. I feel like I was at a point that I was ready. I just wanted to do it again, the experience. I didn't care win or lose. I just wanted to show up. And I look at my wife was there. She recorded the match, and like besides the part of my knee popping, because every
Mm-hmm.
time I see that part, like I cringe because I feel it, right?
But,
I'm very, and not to sound cocky, but I'm very proud of myself. I showed up. I showed
oh
up.
yeah.
I did. I want to say I did 85% than other people have done.
Mm-hmm.
And I got no regrets.
That's awesome. I'm sure too you learned a lot from the experience, which is always
Definitely. It was like the energy, the level
mm-hmm.
was like it was different.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like I'm not gonna lie, that energy, that level, like became addictive for me. Like I want to go back and I want to compete. Like I want to train in that level.
Yeah, it is
So,
very addicting, and
yeah.
it's definitely kind of like an all or nothing sport,
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
were saying. You really have to go in and give it your all.
Yeah, especially in the competition, you have to show up because it's not like you're rolling in class, you know.
Mm-mm.
They're just like, oh, it's a rough day. Let me just, here, take a
Mm-hmm.
tap. Like
Yeah,
you have to like, you got to give it your all.
yeah, for sure. That part about competing is cool. I felt like I did a bunch or a couple competitions. It was mainly like, people do pressure you a lot to kind
Yeah,
of do competitions.
yeah, yeah,
And I didn't really want to be honest. Like I thought it'd be cool to kind of like, test where you're at against different people that aren't in your gym and everything. But I don't know, for me, the nervousness of it and like having to be like kind of like the center of attention like that, even like when I won, like wasn't worth it to me. Like I
yeah,
just really, I don't know, was
yeah.
mad
I got it.
about that
Yeah,
feeling, like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
totally for some people and some people like thrive in that, like
yeah,
I have friends like from my past gym or from my gym, um, that, like love that. Like they thrive and like
yeah.
that
Attention.
attention and that like nervous feeling and like the anticipation and everything about it and just like love it and then like go in and absolutely kill it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's amazing, like I have a lot of respect for it and like awe. I just didn't really feel like that was me.
No, I get it. Yeah, yeah. Like I what I liked about is like after like what's what it has helped me personally, right? The
Mhm.
the whole ordeal, the experience, like if it's helped me, like I was very how do I put this? Like I was very keep to myself.
Yeah.
It helped me be a little bit more sociable and non-judgmental because I always felt like, people are judging me without me caring.
Mhm.
But it just, look, because I grew up in a hostile environment. So it helped me with that. It also helped me like with my creative juices, right? Like I,
For sure.
I picked up drawing again, something I didn't do for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And just, keep a balance and help
Mhm.
me be a little bit more patient.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So like I tell people, when a bad day in jujitsu is like you getting choked out by the
Mhm.
weakest one. But a bad day in jujitsu is a good day outside.
Mhm.
Because when you walk outside, there's a lot of people
Oh,
triggering
yeah.
you. There's a lot of assholes.
Mhm.
So I enjoy that part.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely, I feel like, helped me in so many ways, especially at the time I was like, did it, like, where I was at in my life, like, in college, 'cause
Stress.
I was like yeah, and same, like, I was a total loner, like, I didn't do much, I never really, like, partied or anything,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself at all, um, and I feel like, jujitsu helped me build a lot of confidence and also, you know, um, I made a lot of really great friends there that I'm still friends with today, and just like the
Nice.
community aspect of it
Yeah,
um, was really important, and I feel like helped me a lot.
that's very true. Yes. Same here. Same here. Does does drawing help you with your stress?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I mean, part of the reason I've always done it too is because I could always kind of like zone out because real anxious and sad, kid.
Hmm.
Um, so I could just like, zone out and kind of go into like a flow state of just doing art and kind of like, you know, emptying
Yeah, yeah.
emptying my mind, and all that really exists is just me and whatever I'm drawing at the moment. And
Wow.
even now, like I feel like it can be like sometimes you can, or I can definitely still like get in my head about things and like,
It's like
but
therapy.
I try really hard to like, take it from a meditative point of view where it's like, no, like I'm here drawing or painting, all that I really have to concentrate now on is this, like in the now is like me and
Yeah.
this paintbrush and just kind of like
Help
get
you
into it.
help you deal with certain situations and whatnot.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
just not be in my head so much, like
yeah.
really just try to be in the moment, which I think is so important.
Oh, hey, I totally understand. Me, when I was a child, that same concept you're describing, that was me, growing up in a broken house, and I would just that would be like that would be my therapy to deal with shit.
Yeah.
Um, but then certain shit happens in life, and it was just stay like that or you survive, and I had to survive, and that slowly just started detaching from that, and 20 years later now.
Yeah.
And it's because I got a son, I want him, like you have to try to be like I try to be, I don't want to say a role model. I'm far from that, but like set the example, like,
Yeah.
if he sees daddy like in a bad mood, he quickly takes up I don't know, his book and starts to draw, and rather
Yeah.
than, see daddy, I don't know, punching the wall, yelling. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm. For
And
sure.
without saying it, I'm teaching him how to, soothe himself
Leading
and
by
find,
example.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, it's important to, teach kids good coping skills when they're young. 'Cause a lot of them, I didn't get to learn a lot of those, from my parents growing up, and
yeah,
then there's stuff I had to develop later on. So like the
yeah,
more you can do that for your kids now,
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it's only going to help them a lot.
Have you ever thought about like in the later in the future, like teaching, giving some art classes?
Yeah, I'd love to. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be really cool to be like, I don't know, to do like a substitute art teacher at a high school or something. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah,
Or, I mean, eventually, like a lot of the artists I follow, I've taken a lot of art classes from artists that I follow on Instagram that are incredible. And I have learned so much from them. Um, I think it'd be cool to do something like that eventually,
I think you'd be
especially if
really
I
good
could
at it.
really
You
find.
have this calm. Hey man, just gotta enjoy
Oh, thanks.
it. I think it would be
Thanks.
dope.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. I think that'd be real cool. Um, yeah, some artists, I mean, like like for example, lettering.
Hmm.
I I've been lettering a lot recently, but like 6 months ago, I was like so intimidated by
Yeah,
lettering and calligraphy. Yeah, because it's its whole own thing, like it's its whole own genre of drawing that I knew nothing about
yeah,
and I
yeah,
thought was really difficult. And I was just like, I like screw it, like I want to get a lot better at it, especially if I'm going to be doing graphic design and stuff,
yeah, yeah.
I think it's really important. And one of my favorite lettering artists on Instagram has a lettering course. His name's like, I think it's pronounced Stefan Coons. Um, He's incredible. And I did his like ultimate lettering course and his like Procreate boot camp.
Yeah.
And just from doing those things, like, and then obviously like practicing a lot afterwards, like I'm now doing lettering and stuff, making custom
Wow.
script and lettering pieces all the time. Like I just finished one today for an ad. And I don't know, I'm real stoked about it, you know,
Oh,
it
that's
was something
dope.
I was so scared of. But it's all from like those, I think that's so cool that artists nowadays can teach classes like that so
Yeah,
easily. Like
yeah,
he like I think lives in some other country and English isn't even his first language.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then now he's making these courses and like, you know, someone from across the world is watching them and
yeah, yeah.
benefiting so much from them. Like that's so
See,
cool.
I love this conversation because like when you talk about it, you hear your passion, your love for what you're doing, and I feel like people have lost that sense of life,
Yeah.
that light, right? You're talking, you're smiling, you're like your eyes looks like you have glitters because they're sparkly. Like people, we need to get back to that. Like you're just in love
Yeah.
with what you're doing, and that's beautiful.
We
Never
do
lose
so
that.
bad.
Never lose
I'm
that.
I'm trying not to. I don't think I will. I mean, I love it so much. And no, I totally get what you're saying though. I think it's so unfortunate. And I also think a lot of that is just because of pressure from mainly like society about like, you know, money and money
Yeah,
struggles
finance.
and
Yeah,
also like social media. And I think something that like really hit me is like I listen to a lot of Alan Watts. I don't know if
hmm,
you are familiar with him. He was a religious philosopher. Um, it's a bunch of audio recordings and books. He's incredible.
yeah,
Um, but he was talking about one time that basically like if you are making art to make money, you're no longer making art, you're making money, you know? I think kind of same thing with social media. Like if you're making art for social media, you're no longer really making art, you're making social media posts, you know?
yeah,
And I think it like obviously like the goal is to, you know, make money off of it because you kind of
yeah,
have to, like
yeah.
in the
You don't want to be
society.
broke. Yeah,
No, but I think, you know, for me, I try to think of it more as like, you know, I'm making like I don't want to get bogged down by that because I think that's so stressful. Like I'm making art because I love it and I'm passionate about it and like, you know, making money off of it or making the social media posts and stuff, like that's a bonus
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
Like,
That's a great mindset. That's a great mindset, and
yeah.
I think we all need to be a little bit like you and have that concept because just and social media is funny because like there's people get paid just to post stupid shit.
Hmm.
Like I mean that. Like they get paid. Uh I get like social media is how you use it, right? You can do like you share what you love,
Hmm.
or there's people that just it's a tool for their jobs. I get it. But at least, make it meaningful. Make
Yeah.
it like what it's if it's supposed to be entertaining, make it inspiring, right?
Yeah.
And we're and I feel like we're in a difficult time and where our
For sure.
creativity and it's not being killed, it's just being controlled and monetized.
Hmm.
And
It
we're
is.
you're supposed to love what you do.
Hmm.
That's me.
Hmm. No, I agree. Like you're supposed to be passionate about it. Like if you're not, I mean, I kind of believe like if you're living and doing something like you have the job that you're doing, but you're miserable doing it, right? And you continue doing it just to continue being miserable,
Yeah.
you're not really living, you
No,
know?
no.
And I think it's really sad because I feel like a lot of people are kind of forced in that position. And it's really unfortunate because I don't think it
Yeah.
should be or that it needs to be like that.
No, I agree. I agree. And then, you know, there's people that start off with their talent, but end up like hating their talent
Mm-hmm.
because the situation is presented. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Really overwhelming.
it's trying to find a balance.
Yeah, definitely. It
All
can
right.
be really difficult.
Yeah. All right. One more question before we go. If like what I can't even say it. What would be your advice on how to start for somebody who would like to learn how to draw?
I mean, part of it's just going to be what most people say, which is just like practice, you know, like put in the hours, like practice. But I think it's really important to try really hard not to get too intimidated by like the stuff we talked about, or like other artists and how amazing they are, you know. Like I think it can be really easy to kind of compare yourself to where other artists are at, and you know, that's not really necessary. Like just do you, do it at your own pace, like
Boom.
have fun
Yes.
with it, try to
Boom.
enjoy
Yes.
it, and like
Yes.
learn with each piece.
Boom. There you go. Before we go, tell the people where they can find you at.
So Instagram is what I'm mainly on. It's Lexye CM, so LEXYE CM. And then I just got a TikTok, so I'm also on TikTok posting some art videos.
Oh, boom. Thank you for joining me. It's been an honor and a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, thanks so much. I had a great time.
Boom. Have a good night, guys. I'm out.